Okay, welcome everyone. Wednesday night team call. Super excited. Crystal and I are doing this one together. I don't even know the last time we did a Zoom together. I think it's been a little bit. So this is good. Yeah.
I
So
feel like it hasn't been that long, but I don't know, maybe it has been.
feel like it has been. It was supposed to be last week, but
Yeah.
then Finley was in a
Yeah.
merge, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Excited to be talking about leadership with everyone tonight. I feel like this is a topic that we specifically have never really covered. I'm going to be super vulnerable and honest with you guys, and that's because I did not feel qualified to cover said topic. But lots of self development, guys, lots of growth going on within our team. And I know that Crystal and I have really grown, and we feel excited to kind of share with you guys some of the things that we've learned along the way. So, first of all, everyone is a leader. Every single person on this Zoom, be it a leader in the business, be it a leader outside of the business, within your family, within your friend group, you can be a leader literally anywhere. And basically, being a leader is just influencing people. If you have an influence on anyone, right? Like you're leader of your family because you like influence your kids or your brother and your sister. You're a leader for them. All those people. So know too that even if you don't have distributors on your team, other members on our team are still watching what you're doing. So you are still a leader. And a lot of times people are watching our pages, right? Especially when we work on social media. It kind of takes our leadership to a different level, more than just being in person. And when people are watching your page, it is super important that you also are watching your page in the sense that you are posting things that are appropriate and things that people are going to want to follow you for, right? Because we want to make it so that people want to copy kind of what we're doing, right? So we say like success leaves clues. So like what other leaders do you guys follow in the company that you're like, oh, that's a really cool results photo. Like I'm going to take that and post it. Like so cool, right? Other people on our team are probably watching your page the same. So you want to make sure that you are posting things that are okay for other people to be reposting, right? You want to post things that people want to follow, they want to engage with you about. A lot of times it's great if you can be posting about your niche, because we still want your page to be about you. Even as a leader, it's still you. And it's also now about your business, right? We always tell you guys your social media is like your open page. When you're posting things, when you're putting in your story, it lets people know that you are still there, you're still around. And how you talk to people on social media should be very similar to how you would talk to someone if you had a brick and mortar store and a customer came in, right? Same thing. What sorts of things, what kind of pictures are you going to have hanging in your store? Right? Do you want to have a conversation with a customer that's like, oh, Aunt Sally was such a bee at Thanksgiving dinner and blah blah. Like, don't post that on your page, please. That's just like not to do with your business. And we want to be professional. We still want to be professional. It's important to have fun, still be yourself. You can post silly, funny things. I'm sure you see us do it all the time. But make sure that it's appropriate and that you're not posting your drama all over your page. Because, like I said, people are watching. Okay. I'm going to turn it over to Crystal.
Okay. Yeah, I like to post like really like funny pictures and stuff and like, something that's relatable, something that we all go through, right? And that's like where it draws a line, I guess. Like you don't want to be like, oh, I'm so mad at my mom for doing whatever, or like, oh, this person really pissed me off. Like message your friend and tell her that. You don't need to put it on your Facebook. Okay. So yes, everybody is a leader, but obviously like in this business we're in, we want to be an independent distributor. We want to own our own business. But with that being said, with like this type of business, we are coming into like a team and we are eventually going to build our own team because that is like where the money starts to really build up and you start growing your team, everybody starts signing customers, and all that residual income just keeps building, right? So you want to have a team that is going to, stick around, and they're going to enjoy working with you. They're going to enjoy showing up. You don't want to like scare them away or anything like that. And the best thing to do is like when you are enrolling somebody, or when you see potential in somebody, you want to make sure that you're building the relationship with them, and you're not just like talking to them about the business only. You want to care about their lives. Like, these are real people that have real goals, and like they want the money for real things. It's not just like, oh, I got a DT. Oh, like what's their name? Like, I don't even know, but I got a DT. Like, you don't want to be like that. You want to care about these people like authentically. Don't fake it, because people can tell when it's fake. Like, you can just feel the vibe. But get to know your people, and every woman on our team is amazing. And if you get to know them, you're just going to be like, wow, that freaking girl is amazing. Like, I just want to talk to her all the time. And then I'm just looking at the note. So that being said, like, you want to get to know them. And then when you are first signing people, you want to make sure you're checking in with them. So on the Zoom last night, Meredith was saying for like the first 30 to 45 days, it's like you're checking in with them every single day to make sure that they, know the things that they have to do to like, continue the ball rolling, that everything is good, if they need any help. So it's like every single day you're checking in with them. You're not just like waiting for them to message you because maybe they're scared to, maybe they're nervous, maybe they just don't know, or maybe they're just busy, whatever. And that's okay. They can be busy, but we're still going to check in. Like, hey, how's it going? I'm so excited. It's such a beautiful day outside, and I'm just about to get some stuff done. I was wondering if you wanted to do it together. So that's like a really awesome message to say to somebody, or just like, hey, like, I know we're on day 2 of the training. Do you want to get started right now? Here's the first step. Let me know when you're done. Anything like that. So just making sure that you're staying engaged with your new DTs. Otherwise, they're just going to be like, does my enroller know I exist? Do they even care about me? I have no idea what to do. And that is not fun. So just making sure that you're staying in touch. Okay, I'm going to pass it back to Shannon.
Yes. And like, honestly, guys, you are going to form so many friendships. Like, I can't even tell you like how close Crystal and I have gotten, and with Jillian and Jessica and a whole bunch of other ladies on our team. And they are genuine friendships. We might have met through the business, but like, I can tell you so many things about their life stories and different things that they've been through. And those are the kinds of connections that are forming lasting, lifelong bonds. Plus, we are always talking about making sure that you are surrounding yourself with people with the positive vibes that you want to have to bring you up. So, if you do not have those people in your life already, trust me, you are in the right place, because we are those people for you, constantly bringing each other up and cheering each other on. And it's definitely an environment that I have never experienced before. And it's one of those things that I always tell people that are interested in our team too, is I've never had a group of women, so many women for so long, have no issues. No issues. And that's because of our self-development and our acceptance and no judgment of everyone. And it's just an amazing culture that our team has created, and you guys are all part of that. So we want to make sure when you're bringing in your newbies that they are part of that culture as well, right? Like that team, showing them the way, leading from the front. Leading from the front, you're going to hear a lot, because that is a huge thing. Like we said, people are watching. Okay. People are like, oh, what did they post today? Did they post in their story? You might not think people are watching you, but they are. And your team is going to do about 50% of what you are doing. So if you only got up 10 haps this month, how many haps do you think your team got up? 5. Is anybody enrolling? Probably not. So guys, you got to lead from the front. You got to show them what's up. You got to show them, here's how you get up 60 haps. Here's how you get up 100 haps, so that they're going to do that 30 to 50 and also be enrolling right alongside with you. Show your team what you're doing. It's one thing to preach at them and tell them what to do, but like show them, say, hey guys, look, I sent out 50 hot messages today. Who else is going to send out messages? Like, let's go, let's do it together. You know, and it's always more fun to do things together, a lot of the time anyways. And then the other side of that is like I said, make sure you're showing your teams what you're doing. And a lot of that is also participating in the team contests, right? A lot of what we do are what we create our contests around, right? Enrollments, getting up HAPs, doing our mindset development. If you're not posting in there, your newbies, your team is going to assume that you are not doing those things. So why should they do those things, right? You have to show them, lead from the front. I know even for myself, like, yes, I created the contest, but I even started posting in the mindset development contest this month to show you guys, like, I am right in the trenches with you guys. I am doing it too. It's actually part of my 75-day challenge, is that I do 20 minutes of mindset development every single day. So guys, make sure that you are posting in those contests and doing the things. Do the things. If you want your team to do the things, you do the things. This is also another good chance to reflect on your own business. Are you being lazy? Are you doing the things? Are you getting your tasks done? You know, it's so important to just make sure that your own business is flowing, and then you kind of help other people. It's like when, like on an airplane, when they tell you you have to put your own mask on before you put on your child's mask, right? You have to work your own business before you're going to help your team. Even Crystal was talking about the Zoom Meredith did last night for us. It was so good. I am finding that recording for you guys. But one of the other things that she said is every single morning in the morning, she always does her own business first. She does. She gets her posts up, her messages out, all those things. Then she goes through her inbox and is helping her team and seeing what they need, and doing all those things, because again, people are watching and your team's going to do 50% of what you do. So make sure that you are doing the things. Okay, I am going to pass it on back to Crystal.
Okay, I'm just making sure I'm not muted. Okay, so in this business, we are obviously all about, you know, doing the things and like getting up HAPs and like all this stuff. And sometimes people don't want to send out HAP messages, and sometimes people just like don't. You're talking to like your newbies and they're like, oh, like I sent out 5 messages and, you know, like nobody said yes, and I just don't want to send out anymore. And, you know, we can get into like, they can get into a rut in their own head. Like it happens to all of us, right? And the one thing that is gonna, you know, push us and get us moving is when we remember our why, right? So like, why did we start? Why do we need the extra money? Why do we want to be here and all this stuff, right? So if you truly dig deep and think about your why, it's going to make you tear up. It's going to give you goosebumps. It's going to make you feel like, oh my God, like, you know, so the thing is, like, if you know your why, that's amazing. And you want to help your new DTs find their why. You want to say like, we did this exercise. I can't remember where it was, Shannon, but I can't remember where it was. It might've been with Jessica, where you ask somebody like, why'd you join the business? Like, oh, well, I needed extra money. Why? What do you need the money for? It's like, oh, well, I don't want to work full time because I want to spend more time with my kids. Well, why? What would that do for you? Well, I just feel like, you know, I grew up and my mom was always working and I never got to spend much time with her. And it's like, well, why is that important to you? It's like, well, because, and you just get right down deep to it. And then you're going to get emotional, right? Because it's going to dig deep into like, you know, maybe some past traumas and like, but that is the why that is going to fire you up, and it's going to like, you know, take out your phone or your laptop or whatever. And it's going to like, just, it's not even going to feel like a chore. It's going to be like, I'm sending out these messages because I want it this bad. So, and then also like, laying out the goals in front of them. So we have like our 4-in-1 bonuses, we have our builder bonuses. So making sure that when you sign a new DT, first of all, like you should understand the bonuses, right? And if you don't, reach out to your leader. But when you sign a new DT, you want to get on a call with them, figure out their why, and like why they joined the business and all that, and then lay out the bonuses. Be like, okay, so I'm super excited. We're going to work towards your first 4-in-1. That is $200 right away. We can get that within like 2 weeks. So this is how we do it. There's like an amazing printout in the training board actually that explains exactly like how to get it. So you want to go over it with them. And then if they're like feeling good, you know, you're feeling it out and they're like excited, motivated and all that, you can keep going. Talk about the 3 4-in-1s and what happens when you get that. So it's 200, 200, 200, and then 470. And then you can do that as many times within your first 3 months. And then if they're still, you know, excited, talk about Ruby. You don't want to overwhelm them. So just kind of feel it out. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about, like their why and their goals. I also wanted to add, if you guys have any questions, put it in the chat while we're going, so at the end we can like get back to everybody. So drop anything in the chat. So one quote that I saw on Pinterest, and I actually have it on my dream board, is build a team so strong that you don't know who the boss is, right? So we want to build leaders, right? Like Shannon joined, and you know, she didn't have all of us, and she was created a leader, freaking bloomed out of the ground. And then I'm like the little mini flower coming up behind her. That's a weird analogy. Shannon's like, oh God. But we want to create leaders, right? Like I want to see every single one of you guys be a leader. I want to see every single one of you guys be on these Zooms and like sharing all your wisdom and experience, just like I am. Do you think when I joined this business, I thought that I would be where I am today? Like, no. I remember when Shannon asked me to be on the first Zoom, I was like, okay, like, I don't know, like I was so freaking nervous and I felt like my heart was going to explode and like my whole body was shaking. I still get like that sometimes, but you just feel the fear and you do it anyways, because once you do it, you're going to feel amazing. And, you know, I feel like I'm just going to jump into like a part that we're doing at the end of it, Shannon, but you know, you just have to fail forward. You know, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to mess up. You're going to look like maybe like silly or whatever, like a fool, but that's okay. You got to embrace it. Be like, you know what? I messed up. My bad. I'm going to keep going though. Right. Because none of us are perfect. None of us know it all. None of us know all the answers. And that's okay. We don't expect anybody to know the answers. That's why there's a huge community of all of us, because we can all reach out to somebody. Because if you don't know something, I bet you somebody else does. And somebody else can tell you how to contact that person that knows it or whatever. We have like such an amazing community filled with people that have been in the business for decades, that know all the ins and outs. So don't ever feel afraid to fail, to mess up, and to get something wrong. Honestly, like I joined the business 3 years ago and I got to Emerald, you know, within like my first, I don't even know, 5 months or something, 6 months, I don't know. And I was super excited, and I'm a single mom. And I hated my job. I wanted to quit. It was during COVID and I didn't want to go back. And I was like, I really need this money. And I was stressing out, and I was telling my team, like, you guys, like, why aren't you guys giving up any HAPs? Like, what's going on? Like, where's all the enrollments? And like, it's because I needed it. I wanted it. And I needed the money because I need to pay my rent. And I. And that's where like my team was like, oh my God, like, this is like a unsafe environment. So they all left, and I had to start from the very scratch again. And I had to do some self-development to figure out what the frig to do and how to get people to want to stay and, you know, feel appreciated. And I think that's really important, is like to make sure people feel appreciated in what they do. And every aspect, like any small thing, anything where they step out of their comfort zone, anything where they do, you know, get up a HAP, like that's amazing. You got up a HAP. Awesome. Keep going. So just appreciating and, Yeah, I like went way off there, but I'm gonna hand it over to you, Shannon.
No, it was so, so good. It's definitely, and like what Crystal said too, kind of building off of people are going to come and people are going to go. Like Crystal said, I'm pretty sure almost everyone, there might be one person left from her emerald chart. And I can tell you guys the same thing. Like I went diamond really quickly in the company, and there is one person left from my original diamond chart that is still in the business. And that's where it's not on us to have control over other people's choices, right? We can inspire them, we can show them what to do, and hope that they are going to stick around and come along with us. But definitely, if someone leaves, it does not mean that you were a bad leader. That's not what that means. That was the best choice for them at the time, right? And that's what they decided to do. So don't ever say, "Oh, I'm a bad leader. No one's doing this. Oh, I'm a bad leader. No one's doing that." Like negative self talk is never going to help anything. And again, back to everybody's watching you. You're telling yourself that. What do you think your team's going to start telling themselves, right? And then it's just a negativity spiral. Instead, think in the positive. Say, okay, this person left. What did we learn from that? What can we use going forwards? What self-development maybe can I do to help someone else now? Right? To go even further than that person went. Maybe they were a ruby. Now you're like, hey, now I'm looking to help someone go emerald. So a big so one of the quotes that I really, really like is that you can bring someone a fish and you'll feed them for a day. Okay, you bring them the fish, they have it. But if you teach them how to fish, you're going to feed them for a lifetime. Okay, you can bring people customers, you can give people on your team customers, you can give people distributors. But if you do not teach them how to do those things, they're going to drop off because they can't do it for themselves, right? You can't keep doing it for them. You have to teach them how to be self-sufficient. And a lot of those things too are when team is coming to you, and if they've been in the business for a little bit and they're asking you the same question over and over and over again, show them where to find the answer. Don't keep feeding the answer to them. Okay. Give them the resources. Show them, hey, here, you want a new story today? Okay, here's the stories chat. Go search in the stories chat a keyword. This is how you do it. Here's our daily tasks chat. Here's how the poll works. Show them, right? This is why we had
being recorded. Sorry.
This is why we just did a revamp of our whole training process. Because we noticed that a lot of the new people coming in, that it was very, very difficult to duplicate the training process for the team and creating new leaders. Because we definitely also want to be developing leaders. We don't want to just have a team of followers. You don't want to be a boss in a sense. Like you don't want to be telling everyone what to do and when to do it and how to do it and all that sort of thing. Like people are still going to be individuals, and you want to promote that within them to have their own creativity. Say, okay, well, we want to do a post in your niche today. Okay. My niche is not cooking. If you've ever been on a Zoom with me, you know that I hate cooking. I don't know why this always comes up, but I hate cooking. So you are never going to find a cooking post on my wall. But if that is your niche, I want you to go post crazy cooking stuff, right? You're going to bring all those people to you. So that is where we don't want to dictate. This is not a dictatorship. And a lot of what we do too is collaborative, right? We have different leaders posting in our tasks chat every single day so that we're always having different people's ideas, different stories that they're finding from places, different posts that they're finding, different tasks maybe that they're finding is working for them, right? All that collaboration is creating leaders and not just followers. And that's what you want to do on your team too. So even if you have 1, 2, 3 distributors, ask them what they want to do. Like, hey, how is this going? Have you found any new like hat messages that are really working for you? And a lot of times when newbies and your team are asked for their input, that is huge. That is huge for their self-esteem, that they know that you think highly enough of them to ask them their opinion. And that's going to make a really big difference with your interactions with them. Something that like it gives me goosebumps to talk about, but when we were at Green Carpet, one of the other ladies that is not on our team, but she's on like our bigger team, she was there. And a lot of us she had never met before. But something she said to me was, she was like, I could not tell you what rank you guys were. I couldn't tell you who was under who, couldn't tell you any of that. And that's because we're all just collaborative leaders and friends and working together, and we all have that mutual respect because we're all mutual leaders, right? We all bring different things to the table. So you want to create that within your team as well. And it's great that we kind of have the groundwork, the footwork that you guys can kind of follow along with and go through the training and bring them into the culture that we already have. So something too that Crystal and I were talking about, I remember back in February, Crystal messaged me, is actually when I was in Florida. And she was like, I'm so sorry, but for bugging you. And I think I'm going to make my own team page. I really hope that this is okay. And you're not offended. And da, 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 da. I was like, Crystal, this is fantastic. If you have people on your team that are at the point in their business that they're going to create their own team page, like, yes, please. Yes, please give me 50 of those. Seriously, your team is going to explode. And that's what we want, right? We want you to take charge. If there's something different and you have a good team and group of people that you're like, okay, I think this would be kind of cool. I want to try it out with my team. And then maybe we can talk about it with like the other leaders and see if it works and this and that and that. Like, do your thing. Go lead your team. Be part of Diamond Dreamers. Be part of Fresh. Be part of Crystal's team page, but also be yourself. Because, like I said, we don't ever want to dull your individuality. We are all different people. We're all going to lead differently, and that's okay. That's part of the collaboration and the part that we embrace, and why we want to have everyone's input a lot of times into what we're doing and how we do things. And when we change scripts, what do we want them to say? And this has definitely been a big learning curve for myself. I remember, as Crystal was saying, everyone on her chart is mostly gone. Everyone on my chart is mostly gone. And I can tell you that's because I was the dictator. Crystal could probably even remember this. I was the dictator. I did the daily tasks every single day by myself. I told everyone what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. And it took a lot of self-development within myself to kind of like step back and realize that I was my own like sinking ship. I was bringing my own business down. And again, a lot of that came from being on these trainings and watching what other leaders were doing as well. So know that we're always growing, always growing, even as leaders. I can tell you, even like Joel and Stephanie Dunn that are top of the company for 10 plus years, they still show up to every single event. Do you think those people need to show up? Absolutely not. But they do. They do because they love this and they know that they too can constantly be growing, just like we can. So I also want to just mention that if you guys ever have ideas, if you have things that you want to do, different contests, different ways to get the team involved, different ways to do things, please come to us, tell us, right? We want you guys to be involved in those things. If you want to do a live on the team page, oh my gosh, go do it, girlfriend. Like, go pour into our team, right? Be a leader, step into those things, and share what you've learned with everyone else. I think the last thing that we want to touch on that I'll pass it back over to Crystal for are a few books and podcasts that we will recommend for you guys.
Yeah. I don't really have like a huge list, but I do have like, John Maxwell has literally so many leadership books. I haven't read them all. I'm like still like in the middle of like my third one. But he is amazing. He has Audible and he has actual books. It takes a bit to get used to his voice because he's like an old man. But if you like get used to him, he's actually pretty funny. And he makes like little funny remarks too. So you're going to be listening to your book and you're going to be learning and you're going to be laughing. And then there's also podcasts too. So honestly, if you look up leadership in Audible, there's going to be so many books that come up. And also if you search on YouTube, like leadership, like It Works trainings or like anything, like you can just look for self-development anywhere. But I did want to add, Shannon, that when you said that you used to like put the task in every day, I remember when you asked me if I wanted to start doing that in your group chat, and I was just like, oh my God, like this is so cool. Like I felt so darn special. So just
Oh,
know that like when people feel special, when they feel recognized, when they
yeah.
feel appreciated. So just know that like if you're gonna point somebody out and like be like, hey, like I think you're capable of doing this, they're gonna be like, oh my God, like you know what? Maybe I am capable. And then they're gonna step into that leadership step by step by step. So it's just super, super cool. And yeah, it's just funny to me how like we have our task chat group, and like I've never shared task in there unless like somebody is sick or whatever. And I always wonder, I'm like, I wonder if people ever thought that I've ever done that or not. And it's like I am the OG. No, I'm just kidding.
I am the OG.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh, Jessica said she updated the self-development in the fresh board.
Amazing.
Awesome. So there's in the fresh board, there's a section in there that's all about leadership, different books and podcasts and everything in there. So self-development is so, so important, you guys. Like every day, it should be a non-negotiable, like whether it's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, do it while you're doing the dishes, do it while you're journaling, do it while you're driving, do it while, like, I don't know, anytime folding laundry. And it's just going to grow your mind so much. And you're just going to learn. You're going to be inspired. You're going to be excited. And then you're going to want to share it with people. And people are going to be like, damn, like she has some good points. Like, where did she get that from? And they're going to be like, I thought of it on my own. And like, the real secret is the books, right? But just know that that is where we grow, and that is where we just become a better person all around. And it can help with every aspect of your life, not just this business. We all, I feel like I'm going to go off right now, but we all have so much stuff that happened to us that is going on in our lives, and like our emotions can be high sometimes, and we can feel some type of way. We can get in our feelings and, act a certain way. And sometimes we really just got to check ourselves and be like, you know what? I need to read a book about this because I don't know what to do. And I bet you anything, you're going to find a book that's going to tell you exactly how to deal with it in the right way that is going to, make you feel, you know, content or whatever. So just know that self-development is so, so important, guys. And if you can't find a book, message me and I can help you find a book that you're going to love. But yeah, I think that is it. So you want to end
Yes, yes.
it?
I
Yeah.
just want to quickly mention my favorite leadership podcast,
Yes.
which is Craig Groeschel. Freaking awesome, guys. Scroll back to the beginning. You have to listen to it from the beginning. One of the first thing that he goes over are the 4 types of leaders. Like it is strictly, called the Craig Groeschel Leadership Podcast. And it is just full of so many tidbits and different things that I think I started listening to him in January. And when I look at where my business went in January to where it is now, so many tidbits from that podcast have upgraded the level of leadership and things that we bring to you guys. I think the last thing that I want to say is make sure that you love your team where they're at. Love them where they're at. Runners are going to run, walkers are going to walk, and that's okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with either side of those. It's definitely taken me time to figure out what that meant because it can be, you want those walkers to see their potential. You want them to be like, oh my God, no, you want this. You can do this. I see so much in you. You can, you can, you can, you can. But sometimes, like, some people just join this for the friendships. Like they're just like, oh yeah, like that's cool. I want to be on the Zooms. We're gonna hang out together, and that's okay. Like that's what they joined for. So don't force those things on them. Work with them, love them where they're at. So if you guys don't have any questions for us, I think that's all that we have for you tonight for leadership. If you guys loved this training, then we can definitely try to do more leadership trainings. And yeah, big announcement tonight. If you guys didn't see it, big announcement at 9:45 Ontario time, which in BC, I believe is 6:45. Alberta, we're like 7:45. And then it's fantastic. So everyone have a great night. We have our opportunity chat tomorrow. So remember, we are going to be growing our teams, leading, be confident in your leadership, know that you can lead a team, and do your self-development to continue leading better. Okay. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.